We've all heard it before. We only use 10% of our brains, and the rest is unused potential, just waiting for us to unlock it. But how true is this idea? And what would happen if we somehow managed to use 100% of our brain power? Some versions of this question have been asked hundreds of thousands of times on various platforms. So let's take a look at some of the most popular theories and what science has to say about them. The 10% myth has been around for a long time, and there are many variations of it. Some people claim that most of our brain is inactive, and that we only use 10% of its capacity. Others say that we use 100% of our brain, but that most of it is unconscious. Still, others argue that we use all of our brain, but that most of it is body parts we do unconsciously perceive, like our fingernails or toenails. None of these claims are really true, but they do touch on something real: the idea that humans have a lot of unused brain potential. Neuroscientists now know that the brain simply does not work this way. Brain scans show that even when we're not thinking very hard, most of our brain is active. There's also no part of the brain that we can point to and say that's the part that's not being used. The brain is an interconnected network, and different parts of it work together to produce complex functions. Even our thoughts and actions are initiated by networks that span the entire brain. But just because we use all of our brain doesn't mean that we're operating at full capacity. In fact, scientists believe that the human brain is capable of much more than we currently realize. We do have the potential to use our brains more efficiently and to develop new abilities. This is why some people who meditate or take psychedelic drugs report profound changes in their consciousness. These experiences often involve a heightened sense of awareness and a feeling of being connected to everything around us. Some people even report seeing or feeling things that they couldn't see or feel before. These experiences suggest that there is more to the human brain than we currently understand. We may have the potential to access higher states of consciousness and to perceive reality in ways that we never imagined possible. So what would it be like to use 100% of our brain? To answer this question, we need to look at what happens when people use even a little bit more of their brain power than usual. When we exert ourselves mentally, we use more energy and our brains consume more oxygen. This is why people who are very mentally active tend to be more hungry than those who are less mentally active. Using more of our brain power can also make us more aware of our surroundings. People who are highly skilled at something like playing an instrument or a sport are able to do so, because their brains are able to process information from their environment more quickly and efficiently. They're also better at focusing on the task at hand and blocking out distractions. Finally, using more of our brain power can give us greater control over our emotions. People who meditate or practice mindfulness are often able to calm down more quickly when they're upset, and they're better able to focus on the positive aspects of a situation. If we could find a way to use even more of our brain power, it's possible that we could experience these benefits to an even greater degree. We might be able to heal ourselves from mental illness or injury more quickly. We might be able to learn new things more easily, and we might be able to live richer, more fulfilling lives. Of course, this is just speculation. We don't really know what would happen if we could use all of our brain power. But it's a fascinating thought experiment that can help us appreciate the amazing capabilities of the human brain. So the next time you hear someone say that we only use 10% of our brains, you'll be able to tell them that it's not quite true, but there is something more to the human brain that we haven't yet discovered. Thanks for watching Parallelish, where imagination bends reality. I'm Nova, your guide through the unknown. Want to explore more timelines? Tap the playlist above and keep diving into the what-ifs. Until next time, stay curious.